Hello again and welcome back to Mrs. G's Art Channel. Today it's all about dragons. Lots of children have been writing about them recently, so I thought it would be great to do a painting to go with them. So we're going to create a nice moody, misty scene and have some dragons flying around in the background. So let's learn how to draw some simple dragon silhouettes to put in our picture later. Once you've got the hang, you can do it in all different directions. So to begin with, dragons are going to have a wide little head on the end, and then a long narrow neck, a fat body, a thin tail, gets thinner towards the end, and you might want to put a fork or a tip on it. So that's the basic body shape. And then with the wings, they're long and they come from quite high up the body, and they have normally a claw on the end of the wings. I normally put the bone structure in to help me draw it. So you want 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, and then you can draw the edge of the wings between those bones. You see, and there would be a little claw at the end of each of those bones. So I'm going to go back and put a claw on the end there. So that's my first wing, and then we can have a wing from the other side. So again, I'm going to put the bone structure, 1, 2, 3, and then join the edge of the wings. Make sure that the claws are showing. Now, if you want to have any spines or spikes, you can always add them to your dragons. And normally they have little chubby legs as well tucked up underneath them. So ours are mainly going to be in silhouette today. So draw little chubby legs with some claws dragging behind them like that. Okay, I'm not too worried about the other side. And our dragons are going to be in silhouette, so this is really all we need to do. Once you've got the basic idea for the dragon shape, you can try doing them in different directions. So let me show you a couple more. So here we go again. Here's the head, long neck, fat body, thin tail. This one's going to get wider at the end. I'll do it slightly different shape, and then a tip on this one. And then we can have the wings going each side about the same length. And then I've got my 3 bony bits with the claws on the end. Join it up, 1, 2, 3, and then take it down to the body. Make sure the claws are showing. And again, 3 bony bits, 1, 2, 3. Put the edge on the wings. Make sure that the bony bits are showing for the claws. And you can have the dragon's little clawed legs and feet showing beneath again. So there's one flying away into the distance. We could have one with both wings above. So let's try one like that. So there's the tail. Going to put a fork on that, or a tip rather. And then the big fat body, long neck, fat body, long neck, head. The legs trailing behind again whilst it's flying. Put the other leg in the background. And then we're going to have 2 wings. So I'm going to imagine one coming off the back and one off the front. So let's put those 3 bony bits on. 1, 2, 3, and back to the body. And then this wing's going to come from the other side of the dragon. So over we go. Bony bits, 1, 2, 3. Join it up to the body of the dragon. There we go. And then, of course, if these are going to be in silhouette flying around in our picture, we can imagine what they're going to look like by just putting a little bit of shading on so you can see. So you could just have fun just drawing dragons if you wanted to, and then you could do them wonderful colours, of course. So a quick shade. And there we have a few dragon shapes, and you can draw them flying off in all different directions. So plenty of dragons to get going with. So once you've mastered the dragons, you're ready to do your background scenery. So let me show you how to do your misty murky dragon scenery. Now if you're lucky enough to have some thick paper at home or watercolour paper, you're going to need to wet it quite well before you start working so that the colours run and bleed into each other all over. So get a big thick brush and wet that page really well. Now if you've just got ordinary computer paper or whatever, then you don't want to wet it too much because it will disintegrate. And make sure you've got some paper underneath so you don't ruin the table. So there's my wet piece of paper all ready for working with my big brush. And so now we want to get some black and blue and a bit of brown, make a grey colour. And now we can start putting some murky scenery on the back. I might just let it run down. Can you see it moving? When you're happy with your sky, now it could be sunset colours, but mine is bad weather when these dragons arrive. You're going to need to leave the sky now and work on the ground below. And for this you want to mix as many different greens as you can. So here now we can get, well, how do you make green? You want to be mixing some blue and some yellow. Haven't got much left. Here we go, mix the two together and see which greens you want. As many different greens as possible down the bottom. So here's some background scenery I created earlier. You can see all the different shades of green and the brown in there and the misty murky sky. And so now we want to create a castle on the hill and some flying dragons in the background. So I find myself a smaller brush now, or you could draw this on in pencil. And I'm going to get the dark colour. I'm going to make it quite black. I don't like plain black though, it's pretty boring, so add some blue to that. We'll have a nice blue-black. And we just do a really simple castle outline with some turrets on it. So here goes. There we go. So you've now got the castle on the hill. So all that remains really at this point is to add in your dragons. Now you can paint them on or draw them with a pencil or a bit of both. Okay, so I'm going to get a pencil going here. And let's get some dragons sketched on that we practiced doing earlier. Okay, so we're going to get the outline of the dragon. There's his neck and his body. Then the tail with the tip on it, and the wings, 3 veins, 1, 2, 3, join it to the body, 1, 2, 3, put the outlines on, join it to the body, and shade those dragons in as if they're in silhouette. Let's get some blue on this one. Lovely. Make sure the claws are showing. Okay, now I've got 3 dragons flying around in my scene. And because the castle and the dragons are showing quite clearly, I'm just going to add a little bit of detail on the edge of the hill with some trees and rocks and things like that, just to bring it out of the mist a little bit here and there. I'm going to stick to my blues and greens and purples here. Just to get the edge going. So let's see. Lovely. Okay. And that pretty much does it. So now if I hold that up, you can see a little bit more detail over the paint, and you have your misty, murky dragon picture. Go home and enjoy creating your dragon scene and writing a wonderful story about it. So if you enjoyed the dragon video today, don't forget to like it and share it and subscribe to my channel. See you again soon. Take care.